So we are going to go in Autodesk Inventor Professional 2017. We're going to start a new part. This part, we need to be in inches. And we're going to tack this part a little bit differently. So let me start a part file here, because it sometimes takes a little bit. There we go. We are going to, there are many different ways to make this part. The way I am going to attack this part is I am going to create an L shape, and then I'm going to extrude it back the 2.5 inches. Notice ½ inch plus ½ inch is 1, plus another 1.5 is 2.5 inches. So I'm going to make this L shape, not from a square, but just using lines. I'm going to dimension them, and then I'm going to extrude them back 2.5 inches. So I need a 3.5 on the bottom, 2.5 on top. This length right here is going to be 1 inch, and this length right here coming up will be also 1 inch. So start a sketch. The plane I'm going to use this time is the YZ plane. I do that because this surface of the L is in the YZ plane. So just to get my first one down, 3.5 inches. Notice I could type that in there as long as my as long as my line was pointing straight up. It'll then go 3.5 inches straight up or over, whichever way you have it pointed. Notice when you're using a line, it kind of locks to that straight up and straight over position. So it is, however, very easy to accidentally make a line that's crooked. So just be very careful there. 2.5. 1 inch. I don't know exactly where that one is, so that. And then I will dimension as 1 inch. And we're all purple, meaning we're all constrained, so we're good to go. So every now and then what I do, if I want to stop using a line, I right-click, I click OK, and then I clicked on Dimension. Notice if I tried also dimensioning here, it would say adding this will over-constrain your sketch. That's because it already knows this is 2.5. It did the math. It said 3.5 minus 1 equals 2.5. Same thing over here would happen. If I tried doing this one, it knows that 2.5 minus 1 is 1.5. Finish that sketch, and I'm going to extrude. Sketch here for me. There it is. Extrude over 2.5. So again, many different ways to get right here. Could have extruded out a big block and then extruded out this portion. That would have been 2 steps. I decided to do it in 1 step, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's totally up to you. That's the beauty of designing. In Autodesk Inventor, there's more than one way to make these parts. So please feel free to use whichever way seems best to you. So now I have this feature, this little slot that needs to be extruded out, as well as this little slot that needs to be extruded out. This one has dimensions just of ½ inch everywhere. So ½ inch from the left side, the right side, and then ½ inch down, and then extruded all the way through. So let's do that one first. So the plane that I want to start that cut is on this one right here. Again, I could have cut from the top. I'm just choosing to do it right here. I'm going to start a rectangle on that top line so it makes a constraint there. Notice that line is constrained to the top now because I clicked there. I'm going to dimension ½ inch down, ½ inch from the side, and ½ inch from this side. I just push escape. Sometimes it doesn't recognize where I click, just like there. So let me try this again. So I just push escape, click dimension again. Maybe I'll try it in a different order. It liked it that way. So sometimes it doesn't always work. So right click and OK just to get out of dimension. Finish my sketch and extrude. Now it did not find my feature, so I need to pick my feature. And then I want to cut material through all and OK. Now I could have come in from the top and made this same rectangle and extruded down just a ½ inch. That would have been just fine. Again, many different ways to make the same part. The next one we need is this slot that's on this side. I'm going to choose to do it over here. I'm going to start a rectangle on this line and just put something on there. And let's look at what the dimensions are. So I am 1.5 inches deep. I am 1/2 inch wide, and I'm 1 inch. It looks from each side. Okay, so we will take a dimension. This one should be 1.5. From this line to that line, we should be 1. And from this line to this line, we should be 0.5. Notice we're all constrained. Finish the sketch, extrude shape. I'm going to cut through all and OK. And we're all done. So we will file. I'm going to put in my thumb drive. I will go save as. Again, my thumb drive is called Mr. Spaeth. Yours would probably either be called Transcend or something else. I'm going to go to my homework folder, and I'm going to name this one number 3. There you go. I hope that helps. Again, if you have any questions, please ask your instructor. Thanks.